Welcome back to the channel. ThonLexy here with another reaction video. I came across this clip of a woman saying that Kevin Samuels was right after all these years. And I think that there are a lot of other women who agree that now that time has got behind itself, Kevin Samuels' work was very thorough and put these women on notice in a way that they needed. And when he called a woman average, he wasn't intending to be insulting, which brought credence to a lot of other videos we're going to react to in this clip. Let's get into it.
So lately I've been listening to Kevin Samuels again, and I gotta say, one thing that I have just come to terms with is the fact that I am average. I'm an average woman, and I'm not trying to fish for compliments or anything like that, but his content has really just made me like look at my life. Like, I have an average job, I have average income. Both of my parents are average. I grew up around average people, and most of my friends are average too. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that is really important for people to understand, like, there's nothing wrong with being average. I think I just have had like a higher inflated sense of self than what is actually realistic.
I'm glad that she admitted that, because that's basically the majority of the dating market. A lot of you women have an inflated idea of what your value actually is. And when men respond to that, you say that men are toxic, but that's not being honest. Let's get back into it.
And realistically, like, I'm super average.
Women create single family households. There, I said it. Y'all do. Y'all make yourself single moms and then y'all blame everybody else for it. Because at the end of the day, if it's your body, your choice, right? Most women don't believe in that concept unless it's a nigga she really ain't that. Yeah, she'll get rid of the baby. You know, or if she really is with the nigga real tough and she really like believe like by getting rid of the baby, you know, they might have a better chance of working out, she might do it. But 9 times out of 10, she looks at that baby as a form of setup. She getting welfare, she getting Section 8, she getting all this other stuff that she's going to get from the benefits of the baby. And most of the time keeping a nigga around, which a lot of women don't want to admit, they didn't want to keep that nigga around. Then all of a sudden you keep the baby, then all of a sudden he a bum ass nigga and he this and the fifth.
Exactly.
But he wasn't that when you was keeping the baby after he asked you not to. So you are a single mom by choice. 9 times out of 9, 10 times out of 10, you are a single mom by choice.
When I say that there is no deadbeat issue in the black community, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I don't believe that women are picking men that initially intended on being fathers. They're picking men who stimulated them initially. Maybe they had swag. Maybe he dressed the way that she liked. Maybe his tone of voice was what she liked. Maybe he was tall enough. Maybe he was good enough in bed for her standards. But she didn't even think about if he was a father. She didn't even think about if he was a man that would be good to be able to have a baby with and it actually be a sustainable situation. She thought about that after the fact. Let's get back into it.
Because if you didn't like that nigga, if you really wanted to with him, that baby gonna be up there with grandma, grandpa, Aunt Jackie, Uncle Becky, whoever else, St. Jude, Jesus, whoever else is there to greet them at the end of that surgery. Because you ain't gonna keep no baby you don't want. That's the end of it.
Black women are the most destructive women in America. Your anger, your attitude, and your aggressiveness makes you the least desired and least attractive women in the country. The reason for why we see so many black men moving to white women and Latino women is because you bring more problems than solutions to a relationship.
Shouts out to the brother. But not all of us men are even looking to go to other ethnicities of women, even though I respect the black men who just aren't willing to deal with all this extra neck rolling, this extra attitude, another layer of masculinity. We're hearing figures of speech that are very derogatory towards our men, saying that you want us, but you don't need us, all this other crap, and then think that men are going to come into your life. The men who are very far removed from black women have no patience with this at all, as they've moved on to other women with peaceful demeanors. Let's get back into the compilation.
I have came to the conclusion that social media have a lot of y'all women mindset fucked up. A lot of y'all women on social media, y'all going by what these celebrities, men giving they woman and stuff like that, and y'all want a man to do this and that and all this other stuff, when half of y'all never even had a rich man. Y'all don't even have friends that had a rich man. But y'all going by social media talking about y'all want this type of man and y'all never even experienced it. Y'all haven't even experienced rich man adjacent. I believe social media got y'all confused. How can you say if you're making $60,000 a year and you get with a man making $60,000 a year, how the hell you expect him to pay all the bills and take you on trips and do nice things?
Exactly, Travelicious. That's what I'm always thinking when I hear you women making a harder call for men to be able to travel than making a stronger outcry for men to pay your bills or to start a retirement fund or anything like that. You women are thinking about going on trips. When dating and relationships, it's very serious. It's a serious thing. It's about life. It's about family. It's about legacy. It's not about how many vacations you go on. And a lot of you women want men to be able to take you on a certain amount of trips every year so that you can post pics on IG and that all your exes can see how you've moved on and done better. All your friends can see that you can pull a man out. It hardly has anything to do with the man a lot of the times.
And do nice things.
But it was the things that he said in the way that made me feel. That's the reason why I'm not with him today. And one of those things that he said to me was when we were already splitting up and I was moving out. And I was telling him, like, hey, you know, we don't need to do a nasty divorce, but, like, you do need to, like, give me some money to go on about my way, because I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past year and a half, and I don't have anything to show for that year where I could have been earning money.
Oh my goodness, everybody. A year and a half she had to spend with her own children. She's just like, I got to have something to show for that year and a half I was with these kids. It's like, I mean, damn, lady, you act like they aren't your kids too.
I was at home taking care of us. Like, you got to work because of my sacrifice, so I deserve something. And, like, nothing unreasonable, but just something so that I can breathe, so that I'm not, like, paycheck to paycheck.
Let's keep in mind that this is a woman who made a conscious decision to leave the security and the provisions of this man. And she stood on business with her independent self, and now she left the man that was taking care of her, and guess what she's expecting him to do? To still take care of her.
And he told me, he said, and I also said that, yeah, I didn't work, but, like, I provided value because I gave birth to 2 children and I raised them. And
ma'am, but it was while he was paying your bills, though. It wasn't like you were raising the children and you were providing for yourself at the time and he was just off at war. He was there providing for you and those children so that you weren't having to do any heavy lifting of any kind. Right, you didn't have to work. That's a benefit. The issue with modern women is that they have not accepted and settled into the ideas that the women of old have, but they want the treatment that the women of old received. But they're not willing to accept the same deal. They believe that if they're in the house, they're wasting their life, and if they're not outside, they're not doing anything.
And I helped with family life. And his answer was, what you did, that's not how value works. What you did didn't have any value because there was a lot of women who wanted to give me kids. I could have had kids with anybody. But you can't just run out and go find a man to provide for you any day of the week. So me providing for you was more valuable than you giving me 2 children.
Gotcha, bitch! I'm not gonna lie, he's got a point. When you really think about it, there are only so many men, especially in an economy like this, in a time where being single is arguably outrageous. Just to be a single person is hard to live. That any man who can pay a woman's full bills and take care of other children or whatever, he is a rare commodity in the dating market. But a woman just being able to have children just inherently as it is, it's not as rare as someone who can provide for a woman fully in an economy where one man can barely take care of his own self. Hit the subscribe button on your way out of the room, also with the notification bell, so you be notified every single time we post reactions just like this. Hope you got something out of the content. It's DonLexy. I'll see you on the next one.